dig into a little bit of top-end speed running parachute work. You're going to need to refer to your breakdown sheet and adjust the reps and sets according to your level of athleticism. We're going to be using a build-up sequence throughout 30 days, maximizing our results and moving through 2 different platforms. The first 2 weeks, we're going to be working on a little bit of our short burst and smaller sprint distances for our top-end speed. Next, we're going to be progressing onto a longer distances sprints, moving from the 400 meter or even 600 meter, depending on your distance that we're going to be working with. Keep in mind that our speed training parachute is only utilized to maximize our top-end speed. It's a key focus that we maintain our running form no matter what distance we travel. I'm going to give you 2 different drills that we need to utilize to make sure that we're really bridging the gap and maintaining that level of running form even as we fatigue and work through that resistance with the chutes. The first drill is going to be a simple arm action drill where you're in the seated position. This is going to help us exaggerate our running motion, working from the ground, working with good L's in our arms, getting up near our face and exploding back to really get that opposite and even contraction. Our arms are going to help propel us forward, so it's important that we really maintain powerful arms even when we're feeling the resistance of the chutes. Complete 2 to 3 sets of this arm action drill for about 20 to 30 second spurts so that we can really work on that range of motion, keeping that proper arm action. Next, a great drill to complete before we move into our speed training is going to be the single leg drive through. You're going to need to place your body on the wall at a 45-degree angle. We're going to focus on one leg, getting our knee up and pulling through. It's important that we keep a flat back and really work on driving through on each of our legs so that when we get to the speed chutes and we feel that resistance when we run, we can continue to get that dorsiflexion with our foot and drive through each individual stride. Go ahead and move through 2 to 3 sets of each of our legs just as we did with our arm action drill before beginning our run sequences. With the top end speed running parachute, we've put together a great package for you to really optimize your results through any level. When you're beginning to sprint with your parachute, it's important that we really take the time to work in the level that we're at. If you're running with 2 parachutes and you can't get them off the ground, or it's completely exhausting you before you even get into your stride, then we want to move down to 1 parachute. This is going to keep us in an optimal range for that 10 to 15% resistance as we move into that top end speed sprint out. When you move through the 4 weeks, as you progress, if you started with 1 parachute, you can go ahead and add on the second parachute. The key thing to remember, and I can't stress this enough, is that we maintain that running form. If we fade and we have too much resistance, or if we cannot get the chutes off the ground, this is when we need to make that adjustment and go ahead and drop down to 1. If everything's working properly, the chute's airing up, we're getting out into a good running form, then go ahead and add the second parachute and optimize your results with a little extra resistance. Sprint work with the top end speed running parachute is going to be simple. You're going to take out your breakdown sheet and you're going to move through each of the sprint sequences as we progress through 4 weeks. As long as you're maintaining that running form on each of the distances, then we're going to keep progressing through the 4 weeks, moving on to the next workout. Keep in mind that the speed parachute is a linear training device. So when we're running sprints and there's a big crosswind, it might not be a great day to train with the speed parachute. Running resistance is great for building stride length for our top end speed, but it's important that we train in the right conditions with this style of a method. The parachute should be airing up a little bit off the ground or even with your waist. If you've got a big wind and it's flying all around, pulling you off your center of gravity, remember, form is key. So if we can't maintain form naturally with resistance, then we're not going to get any benefits out of training in these conditions. For any questions with your top end speed running parachute, head to kbandstraining.com and contact us by email or use the live chat box at the bottom left-hand corner. We'll be happy to help you out there.